Hi, welcome to today. We are doing a nature healing together, and if you haven't seen the first ones that I've been offering, don't worry, we're, starting from scratch with each episode. But we're in the middle of winter right now, and upon walking in the park, I gathered a lot of different things that, felt like they could help. They could help us with our aura, with our energy. And if you don't know me, my name is Capucine. I'm a Reiki healer. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I have a school. I have a lot of different spaces online where I teach what I know. And this YouTube channel is my living library of healing. And I hope that you subscribe, that you join us, and that you offer your aura some good, some frequencies. The intention of today is to create something beautiful that transmits through the screen, that you can receive even if you're just watching a video. This will, if you accept, be something that englobes your aura, that fills you with energy, that offers you some liberation. So let's start. So here is, that's a piano, by the way. I have a few tools that we're going to use, and I have a few tools here. So what could we start with? Let me read your aura. Let me read the group's energy of whoever will watch this video. Yes, okay. We have some of that. We have some of this. Okay, great. Good to know. All right, so we're going to start. We're going to start with this. We're going to start with the selenite one. We're just going to clear the space a little bit. So selenite is a type of mineral, actually. It belongs to the family of salt, and it is shining like the moon. That's why it's called selenite. Selene, Selene is a word for the moon. She's the goddess of the moon in the Greek myths. And so let me come a little bit closer. Okay. All right. So let's start whispering. Calming down, relaxing. Okay. There's a lot of seagulls above my building that are having a concerto. It's the orchestra of seagulls. I don't know if you can pick it up, if the mic is doing this. There's some crows in it. Okay. Much better, huh? Let me go above your crown a little bit. The crown chakra is just here. And I'm going to just swill. Great. Opening the channel. Okay, under your feet we have to balance everything out, okay? Let's go. Going all the way up. Oh, much better. Yeah. Dum dum dum. Okay. So, casting a circle of protection all around us with the energy of selenite, the energy of salt, and So we have a beautiful sphere of salt all around you. Okay, so what I first noticed is there's a huge block here behind the right ear, and it goes all the way up. So maybe you've been having headaches, maybe a lot of confusion, and the energy in the past few weeks has been crazy. It's there's been a lot of psychic attacks. And, nothing to be those birds. So the energies have been rough, raw, brutal, a lot of psychic attacks. That's why I offered a lot of videos about protection, because we're all affected. Because we're all affected by it collectively. We're in a very difficult time. And, when we get scared about the future and confused and we feel powerless, it's important to remind yourself of that sovereignty, that you are divinely sovereign, that you are powerful, and I'm here to empower you. And those videos are addressing protection, but they're reminding you of the crown that you wear, of that rulership over your life, over your own being. And so, if we can do that for others as well, we can empower others, those who are more attacked, who are more of a minority. So that's what I'm doing here now with those videos, and I'm also offering psychic surgeries on Patreon. That's for a select few, it will be not a collective reading, but more like our little unit, our little group, a surgery, a psychic surgery for those who are ready for this. There's a lot of different things that exist within us at different levels, different layers. So you need different approaches, different commitments, different helps, different modalities, different people to help you help yourself. Okay, the back of the ear feels much better, but it has moved on to the shoulder. We're on the right shoulder. So a lot of those psychic attacks, they always bring me back to duality. We can think, oh, there's the evil and the good side. And truth is, neutrality is something that I've talked about a lot. But that neutrality, it will center you in the worst of storms, It doesn't mean the negative doesn't exist. It doesn't mean the positive should be where we head. But the neutrality is actually just a shield that's going to protect you from the negative, because the negative, in a way, it balances out the positive. But when we talk about control, we talk about fear. And being afraid is the biggest energy cord that submits you into the collective unconscious, the shadows, the collective shadows. And so it's not easy to address fears, but it's needed. It's so needed to address your fears whenever you're not emotionally activated by them. So taking time out of your day to fully just, see what's going on subconsciously and consciously, and to see those layers. And maybe you can get some help with a therapist, talking about it with your soul family or your people, sharing about that with yourself, journaling, and to see that, obviously we're on earth, we're going to have fears, we're going to be afraid. But it doesn't need to control us. And that neutrality helps with being brave, putting into action things that will round up the corners and protect you, whichever thing comes to you. To get yourself ready, standing on your own 2 feet. And I'm talking in metaphors, but learning, gathering knowledge. Making friends. Yeah, okay. So, we feel much better there, so it's time to turn to nature, to what I gathered, right? Okay, so, trigger warning. There's a thorn that I'm going to use. I'm going to use a thorn from a black locust tree. I made a video a few weeks ago that was called Supercharge Your Manifestations. It was all about planting the seeds of your next projects and nourishing them with energies. I'm going to link that video in the description so that you can do that one because it's beautiful. And in the middle of winter, I was walking in the park and I saw this tree that had the craziest thorns growing out of its bark. And there were no more leaves, no more like telltale signs of what type of tree this was. I never saw a tree with those many thorns. And I felt invited to gather one, to make a video for you guys and to gather the wisdom of this tree and share it with you. And it's only upon research that I realized that it's the same type of tree as the black locust with the seeds, the seed pods that I used in this video. So we're continuing the story. Now we're through winter with the same tree and we're, gathering back our strength. We don't have leaves anymore, we don't have fruits, we don't have flowers, but we're actually still protected. We're building up our defenses in the middle of winter. So, same tree. If the visual aspect of a thorn, we're gonna, poke some holes, we're gonna do some things to protect, again, the aura and to protect yourself against your own fears and to create a boundary between you and your fears. If the thorn is too much, please, move along to another video, because I know that some people can get triggered by, a knife coming in or scissors or a thorn. So, just letting you know, I'm using a thorn here and it's only for your highest good, and there's nothing hurtful that's going to come out of it. It's obviously, a video on a screen, but also with the energy part of it. This is actually, the thorn is going to be facing outwards to protect you against the fears. Are we good with that? Yeah? Okay, let's start. So this is it. And it's pretty pointy. I'm impressed that nature can do that. Like, what? And it just grows out of the tree, like out of the trunk, like this, all over the place, and pretty low as well. Like, humans could very easily get hurt on that one. That one was like at the level of my heart when I was standing next to the tree. So yeah, but it's actually gonna help us with the protection, with the boundaries. It's important in your journey with shadow work, with addressing the subconscious, to also create boundaries with them and to know when you're going to go and listen, and to create a routine around that through, analyzing or receiving the emotions of your dreams through doing different meditations and connecting with the inner child, the inner teenager, or even just having past life regressions. You're inviting the consciousness of all of those different iterations of you to come through, and they all have their joys, their loves, their fears. And it's necessary for you to conduct your life to also have those boundaries, to create those boundaries so that you're not submerged into all of those informations that have real repercussions on how you experience life, how your body feels, like anxiety, stress. And it's a journey. It's a journey for you to balance being multidimensional. Like when you embrace all of the sides of you, you become multidimensional. It comes with all of its beauty and all of its difficulties that we're not always trained because we don't have our ancestors, our spiritual teachers. We don't have them anymore. I mean, I don't have them. And so we learn from the teachers that we find, and they also have learned from their own meditations and their own teachers. But the lineages is so it's so recent. We've lost so much knowledge. So it's very important to know what you can handle, how much of healing journey and inquiry, self-inquiry into the subconscious you can handle, and not to tip too much, because sometimes you can be on the verge of really being afraid, losing your mind, being very stressed. So balancing all of that and I know those videos are supposed to be relaxing, but I'm here to teach. This is really what my spiritual journey is like. And whenever I learn something from the different chapters of my spiritual journey, I want to share that. So I'm doing that right now, and I hope it's helping. I hope you resonate. I hope that there's something there. And if you ever need more, I have one-on-one sessions, so we can talk all about that, and we can work energetically together. So that's also something, like I'm of service, I'm ready, I'm available. Ow! I just stung myself with that thorn. Oof. Okay, let's start. Let's start the healing, because I will then discard this away from my house, because it's been poking. It's been poking me. I'm a clumsy person, so let's start. So, black locust, actually a honey locust that has those beautiful white flowers that are so beautiful, and I just love how the leaves drop down, and those pods of seeds that are twirling on their own, and apparently those thorns. So we're going to walk the sphere, the circle of salt that we created all around your aura, that protection. We're going to walk that path, and we're going to meet different selves, different thoughts, different fears, and we're going to, take note, listen mentally to what they're saying, and not be emotionally attached to them, not letting them submerge you. And with the thorn, we're also going to create another layer of protection, creating boundaries with those fears, with those collective fears, because a lot of those fears, they have nothing to do with you or with your journey. It's just the corruption of our times, and a lot of them are so reinforced by the media and social media, and a lot of people who just want your attention. They want you to be afraid, so you will click on their thing, and you will watch and be an audience and be in that storm of energy. So there's a lot of control, there's a lot of manipulation, and I don't want to fall prey to it. So I create my protection. I try to sober up my mind from the fear, and that's what we're doing right now. So you can close your eyes or you can open them. And we're going to start at the south, under your feet, the south of the sphere, and also the south of the circle. So you can see 2D and 3D, all right? And so we're going to walk little by little, and I'm going to let you, in silence, listen and take note of whoever comes through, whether it's your inner child, your inner teenagers, the wounded parts of you that have something to do with a past life, with ancestors, with family, bloodlines, collective energies, but also the times that we live in. And you can listen, you can take note, and then you can discard. And I'm going to help you energetically with this thorn. I'm going to help you to, part the sea, to part the ways, and to create that layer of protection against what really doesn't need to be here, and also against all of those impressions to interrupt your day. But you have to promise me that you're going to create a routine where you're going to be open to listening to the fears that really need to be understood. We don't want to bypass emotions, right? So setting up a routine for them to come in during those 30 minutes, 1 hour meditations, taking notes or having therapy calls, whatever needs to be happening for you, whatever feels comfortable. And then, closing back up. And then reopening the day after or the week after. Yeah? All right. Silence for me. Concentration for you. That was a lot, huh? Yeah. But I trust that you are in a much better space now, energetically speaking. There's a beautiful layer of protection around you, and I hope that you were able to come to terms with a lot of those energies. You are so strong. You can believe in yourself. You can believe that you know how to handle all of this that you've been knowing across lifetimes. And you're just remembering day by day. I'm gonna wait a little bit more for the energies just to see what needs to be done right now. Okay, work with the instinct. All right. Okay. By the way, I never have anything ready. I just have a lot of different tools, and then whenever the energy speaks to me, I'll just grab whatever is told to me. So it's a pretty fun experience as well for me. So instinct, the nose bridge, directly. We have 5 senses, and more than that as well. We have the psychic senses. The nose is the instinct. It is how you know intrinsically from the smell, but also the energy that is something that you pick up on through the nose, if it's something safe or not. And so sometimes we have a weird relationship with instinct in our society, in our times, because it's what connects us to the animal. And there's the reptilian brain within you that can tell you about a lot of really good solutions to whatever you perceive as a threat. And sometimes we also believe that instinct is actually not the smartest thing. It's not the most developed part of your brain, and you should maybe more work with the limbic brain, or that's how you could react to different situations. So different situations, different responses, different parts of the brain, different senses. But yeah, today I'm just asked to balance that bridge, and I love that it's called a nose bridge, to balance that bridge so that you can really perceive what is going on in a way that is more neutral and safer and more fail-proof. I have Palo Santo here. I'm not gonna burn it. I don't feel like burning it as a solution right now. So I'm going to use this here, nose bridge, and do something energetically to balance everything that needs to happen. Alright. Shande sai doi. Light language coming through. Shai de so im koinea so indea so you say 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 so you say. Shoo. A lot of energies is gathering there. Ooh, yum. Oh, you say. Joemia. Aine. Saine. Soine. Koi dai soi te. Oh. Okay. Ooh. always working with the infinity symbol, balancing the polarities and meeting in the middle, creating that bridge, that nexus point. You know, we are in a nexus point. Our planet, our story of humanity. It's important to recreate that flow that balances everything. Yes. Great. Oh. Yeah. Everything feels much better. I want to have a message. I want to leave with a little message. Let me pull a card. Yeah? So I created my own little deck just for myself, just for fun one afternoon. And I made all of those little little messages that I don't get in my tarot. That I don't get in my tarot decks. And I thought it was fun. More, oops. Oh, see, infinity. And I wrote, I am. Intentions. So let's pick a card, okay? Let's see. What is the message for us at this moment? My dog is sleeping in the cutest way right now. I'll share a photo. I can't. My heart can't compute. She's way too beautiful. Oh. What do you really need? And this is a triangle for the delta, which is one of my projects that I have on Patreon with the psychic surgeries, actually. So what do you need? What do you actually need? After, clearing so much, what do you really need? And I did the triangle because it reminded me of the pyramid of Maslow with the essential needs. So what are the essential needs that you build your foundation upon and that you could, keep going high? What do you really need? What's missing from the base? And then how can you put into actions a lot of different motions so that you can get what you need. You can receive what you need in order to grow higher and higher. Yeah, so that was today's video. I hope it helps, and I'm here, I'm present. I have a lot of different things that I am offering, so feel free to check out my Patreon, my Reiki school, my different classes on my website, and my sessions. And if you enjoyed this video, you're definitely gonna enjoy this one.